7:45 on February 5th, 2026, and time to call this meeting of the Bristol Redevelopment Commission to order. We'll begin with roll call. Jeff Beachy.
Here.
Kathy Burke.
Here.
Greg Tuholsky.
Here.
Dudley Smith is here. Dean Renfro is absent this evening. We continue around the room. Kathy Antonelli.
Yes.
Clerk Treasurer.
Here.
Town Manager Mike Yoder.
I am here.
All right. Fire Chief Nick Hans.
Good evening.
Good evening. And Legal Counsel Alex Bowman.
Here.
Okay. First thing on the agenda is the election of officers for this year's RDC.
I nominate that
Me?
guy down there, yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Smith, the president.
Well, I will accept that.
I'll second that nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we have to do vice president as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Vice President and Secretary.
Okay, is there a nomination for vice president?
I'll nominate Greg Tuholsky as Vice President.
I second.
As a point of order,
Yeah.
statute
yes.
requires that the vice president and the president of the RDC be from different appointing authorities. So with
Okay.
Mr. Smith being appointed by the council president, the only, based upon, I think, what the commissioner's intent would be, the two eligible members would be either Mr. Beachy or Mr. Renfro would be the two eligible to serve as vice president.
Okay.
I nominate Jeff Beachy.
I'll second.
I'll accept that nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
With
And
apologies for the blanket.
That's okay.
I couldn't,
Your job.
I asked Jeff before, what does that mean? So now we know.
I don't understand that myself, but
Hmm.
what kind of entities did you say?
So I appointed you, Greg, and Doug. And then
No. That's not correct.
Well, that's what your paperwork
Oh,
says.
I'm there, yes. Sorry.
That was a wet blanket.
There's been a lot of time spent on this today. How many times have I told Kathy? Let it go.
Let it go.
We had some fun.
Meeting authority.
Uh,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's more legislative stuff that,
Why is my
busy
name on
work.
there as appointing authority president?
the president has the authority to appoint 2 spots and the council appoints the other spots. Or the president
way
appoints
around.
3 spots, yeah, the other way.
I appointed 3 spots,
Okay,
and then we as a council appointed the other 2.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Not the redevelopment commission, but the town council.
Okay.
No.
We have to remind everybody of that every single meeting. It has to be on the agenda.
And while Alex is looking at that, you'll notice that Jeff Blyler, our non-voting school board member.
Yep.
I talked to the superintendent's office today. He no longer works for the school. So they will be talking amongst themselves to decide who's coming in after that and let me know.
Okay.
All right.
So
And that,
that's why he's right there.
and that, I believe, is also an appointment of the council president's appointee would be that non-voting member. So statute, Indiana Code 36-714, 6.1A, regarding the appointment of commissioners, provides that there are 5 commissioners for the RDC, 3 appointed by the municipal executive, which would be the town council president, 2 appointed by the municipal legislative body, the town council. So the RDC, from the appointments made in December, you'll see at the bottom of the agenda, there are the 5 RDC members that list their role as of 2025, and then the appointing authority. This is a newer statute that requires for appointed boards to disclose who put them there.
Okay,
And so the appointing authority that's listed there, you'll see that there's the 2 that are the town council, there's the 3 that are the town council president, and then in the replacement of the non-voting member, we'll clarify that's an executive appointment as well. So based upon that, with Mr. DeSmith's appointment and acceptance and vote to remain as president, with his appointment having been by the town council president, if another member of the town council is to be the vice president, it would be either Mr. Renfro or Mr. Beachy. And that's how that shakes out.
Okay,
Okay,
Fun with statutes.
But we already did that.
we already did that.
So we're good. Now you're the secretary. Yeah, so now we have, the record has been cleared. The deck is cleared. We're ready for a nomination and vote on a secretary.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
and our secretary will be
Greg Kahalski.
No,
Kathy
it's gonna
Antonelli.
be Kathy.
Oh, it
No,
has to
she's
be
the treasurer.
Kathy?
He's the treasurer.
Okay,
Richard.
okay. So then I nominate Kathy Burke as secretary.
Oh, gee, thanks.
You're welcome.
And I'll second that.
I think G thanks is an acceptance as well, so.
Oh, shush.
It
Okay,
sounded in the affirmative.
Yes, it was in the affirmative. Good,
Do you know
okay.
how many committees I'm secretary?
So that's handled.
yes.
Then your experience too.
That's
That's great.
What do we have left?
Okay, that's,
Nobody voted on it.
that only took 6 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. Legislative
Nobody
delay.
voted on mine, ha ha ha.
Did you do approval of the agenda?
I recall.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you guys did.
Oh,
No.
has everyone reviewed the agenda?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Any additions, deletions, corrections?
no,
Oh,
Okay, if none, the agenda will stand as published.
okay.
Okay, approval of minutes. We're going to be approving the executive meeting from December 18th. Is there a motion to approve that December 18th RDC meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Jeff, second by Kathy. Any further discussion? If not, we'll take a vote. Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
Doug D. Smith is a yes. Motion carries. Mike, anything? It looks
Nope, I
blank.
yield my time to the town's attorney.
Okay, Alex.
oh no.
Thank you, sir. Before the RDC this evening is a single resolution. This is resolution number 25-2026-5, which is a confirmatory resolution confirming the amending declaratory resolution for the economic development plan for the consolidated State Road 15 economic development area. As the commissioners are aware, the commissioners previously adopted a declaratory resolution to add what is the Rayburn Golf Course into the consolidated State Road 15 TIP district. This process requires the declaratory and then a confirmatory resolution. As part of that, notice has been provided of the public hearing for this evening, and a copy of this resolution and any additional information has been both published in the Goshen News and Elkhart Truth and provided to the overlapping taxing authorities as required by statute. You'll see that it's a pretty lengthy resolution, but effectively, as I described it to you, is the takeaway. Happy to answer any questions regarding it. Procedurally, the RDC will need to hold a public hearing at the conclusion of the public hearing to take action on the resolution.
Okay. Well, at this time, we'll open up a public hearing on amending the declaratory resolution. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to make comment? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing and move on to adopting the confirmatory resolution. Is there a motion to adopt confirmatory resolution 2-5-2026-1?
I'll make that motion.
-5. Mine says -5.
I believe the text of the resolution is 5. I believe the -1 on the agenda may be a misplaceholder.
Okay, with that
So
said,
which one are we doing?
I'll make a motion that we adopt confirmatory resolution 2-5-2026-5.
I'll second.
motion by Jeff, second by Kathy. Any further discussion? If not, we'll take a vote. Jeff Beachy,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes,
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Doug D. Smith is a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you, commissioners. There's a 10-day remonstrance period that will follow the adoption of this resolution, and then at the conclusion of that, provided there are no remonstrance, the State Road 15 EDA will have been amended. If I may speak briefly too on the status of Rayburn and the status of those discussions.
Please.
We have, we've had discussions, if presented the development plan and the idea as we've envisioned it to our municipal finance team and our tax council. Part of what they've identified is the potential that the way the incentive structure is laid out, given the purchase price and then the developer's commitments over time, there's a concern, particularly among the tax folks, that such an arrangement would constitute a tax liability to the developer. $3.5 million incentive tax liability to the developer. Obviously, that's the developer's concern, right? It's the developer's tax liability, but the concern for the town would be that unless we create a framework where that isn't considered by the IRS to be an incentive and a tax liability, that it may well dry up a lot of the resources and the project falls on its face before it ever got started because of that tax liability. So that's the concern that the tax folks have raised to us. So what we're doing, and I think Mike and I will need to get on the horn with the developer and kind of propose a couple of different plans to them to see how they want to, which route they want to go. Effectively, there's three ways to do it. One would be a straightforward development agreement like we've contemplated that may have this tax consequence to them. As I've indicated, there's some risk to the town there because of the nature of that tax consequence. There's an arrangement where the RDC or the town's EDC can provide a forgivable loan that effectively, for the duration of that 10-year period where the developer has agreed to make these commitments, it would be considered a loan that their tax payments, they would agree to some minimum tax payments, and that would be considered compliance with that over a 10-year period. If that structure would prohibit them from getting any additional financing or would otherwise impact their development, there's another route that we could take that again doesn't quite provide the same level of protection to the town, but still gives the developer the incentive to take on the project and still gives the town the ability to put those timelines in place as far as when money needs to be spent, when it needs to be invested, and what the town is expecting out of that property over the next 5-10 years. So that's the status of it. It's not easy. But suffice to say, the wheels are turning, and once it's in place, it's probably a 30 to 40 day turnaround, and it'll be ready to go, ready to transfer. So that's the update that I have.
All right,
Happy to answer your question.
just in time for spring.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Hopefully.
And to the extent that there, needs to be an interim arrangement, whether it's access, whether it's a short-term management agreement or something else. I mean, if we have to cross that threshold, we can. Certainly it's an asset of the town, and there wouldn't be an expectation that it sits and grows derelict while this is papered. So we can manage that accordingly to the extent that contingency needs to be executed.
Okay. Thanks, Alex. Any other questions regarding that? All right. Town council discussion items. Jeff, anything?
No.
Kathy,
No,
Greg?
No.
I have nothing. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Greg, second by Jeff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
okay.
Hey.
Ooh, 1 minute
Just in
is
time.
there.
Just in time.
Yeah.
1 minute is there.
David, are the other folks joining soon or not?
Not 100% sure, but I did send after that I set it up.
They haven't joined yet, so I'm not sure it's necessary for you, Jeff, to sign on to Zoom.
Okay.
I'll keep it open for a while longer in case they sign one after we start.
Okay. Let me open up the council meeting packet. You know, when you're ready, Kathy.
I will. Ready?
Okay. All right, it is Thursday, February 2nd, 2026. It is 7:01 PM. We will call this meeting of the Bristol Town Council to order. And we're gonna start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Dustin, would you like to lead us tonight?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start off with roll call. To my left, Doug D. Smith,
Here.
Kathy Burke,
Here.
Greg Dolsky,
Here.
Jeff Beachy is here. Absent from council is Dean Renfro. Legal counsel Alex Bowman here. Clerk treasurer Kathy Antonelli.
Here.
Town manager Mike Yoder.
Here.
Fire chief Nick Hantz.
Good evening.
And in the back, town marshal Steve Green.
Here.
Okay. Everybody had a chance to review the agenda.
Yes.
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 Okay, any additions, corrections, or changes?
No.
Nope.
Okay, if not, the agenda will stand as published. Next will be the approval of invoices. Everybody had a chance to look at the bills?
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the invoices.
Okay, motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug D. Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is a yes, motion carries. Next item, approval of the minutes, and we have minutes from the January 13th executive session, January 15th regular council meeting.
I'll make a motion, we approve minutes for the January 13th executive session and the January 15th regular council.
Okay, motion by Kathy,
Well, second.
second by Greg, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug D. Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is a yes, motion carries. Okay. Next, under planning and development. Mike, is this you?
That's you.
Alex?
That's me.
Okay,
Council for you this evening is the confirmatory resolution for the real estate tax abatement for the Timbren property. This is titled Resolution of Town Council confirming the designation of an economic revitalization area and qualifying certain proposed real estate improvements for tax abatement. As council will recall, the declaratory resolution, the preliminary resolution was presented and adopted by the council on January 15th of this year. Notice of the public hearing that is required part of this consideration was published in the Elkhart Truth and the Goshen News. Notice of this has been provided to the overlapping taxing authorities. This is what's requested here is a 5-year tax abatement that's for real estate investment. It's contemplated to be about a $5 million construction. There's about 10 additional employees that are contemplated to be hired as part of this proposal with an estimated salaries of just a little over $500,000. Again, this is a 5-year abatement in equal steps for each year, with 100% in the first year and down to 20% in the 5th year. Procedurally, this is set for a public hearing for any remonstrators to speak for or against.
Okay.
Then at the conclusion of the public hearing, this is prep for council action.
okay. So with that said, at this time, we will open up a public hearing. and hear any comments that anyone may have for or against this tax abatement. So we'll start off first with anybody that would like to speak for, in favor of this requested abatement. Okay, seeing none, we will open it up next to anyone who would like to speak against the requested tax abatement. Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Next order of business would be call for a motion for the declaratory resolution 2-5-2026-3.
Confirmatory or is it confirmatory or
Confirmatory. What did I say?
Declaratory.
Yeah,
It's
the
confirmatory, sorry.
confirmatory, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
I just
confirmatory.
want to make sure.
the confirmatory declaratory resolution.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay, motion by Greg,
I'll second.
second by Doug. Open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you, council. Just for your record, the tax abatement is conditioned upon the execution of a commitment and payment agreement by the taxpayer. So that memorializes the obligation to repay any benefits that would have been earned by the taxpayer in non-compliance of the tax abatement application. So you're aware.
All right. Thank you, Alex. All right. Next order of business, town manager. Mike, what do you have for reports?
First up this evening, we have a request from Commonwealth Engineering to amend our contract with them, and we have Andrew and Amy. Jerry. Oh, sorry.
We're classmates, so it's just.
You know, we work with too many engineers. Can't tell them apart anymore.
Yeah, Andrew and I were classmates, and you're not the first one to mix it up.
Okay, sorry.
So, here in a second, I'll turn it over to Amy to, provide some updates on the project, but the one before you, the task order for additional services. So, at the beginning of the project, we did some value engineering. Contractor actually offered up $150,000 credit to essentially buy additional 90 days of time for the construction. During the project, you may be aware, back in the fall of 24, it's crazy that we think back that far. But ultimately, there was soils issues, so we had to do some undercutting, so that caused additional delay. And then most recently, with changing up where the water feed was going to come into the treatment plant, additionally, more delay here recently. At this point in time, the contractor has not made a firm claim requesting those. It's just kind of like an honor system of, we know those exist. We've agreed in principle that, yes, you were delayed by this mark. They're just kind of holding off, thinking they were going to be able to make up the time. But it appears at this point in time that that's not going to exist because substantial completion should have been back in December with the 90 days, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're already kind of past that point in time. There's still a part two to the project of build the admin building. So we also added in some additional time. Just here we are in winter and snow still coming down. It's going to slow down the progress. We're in the red zone, but that's usually that's the most difficult to punch it in from the red zone. So we include some additional time to just round up to 7 months of delays essentially. So that gets you through the end of November. We also made note from a labor standards administration perspective, we had enough budget to support going through to December 1st. So we're good through that time. So there's nothing requested for labor standards administration. And then the aspects that occurred during construction, there was a list of items of where it was kind of above and beyond what you expect, some additional design effort, obviously the undercut, some of those occurrences. So that's more of a recoup on the efforts there. So that's the last part of the request. So for construction engineering, what we're requesting, and this is all hourly, additional 104,000, and then the RPR who's on site full time is an additional 204,000, for a total of 308,000.
Okay.
So again, from a time perspective, as long as we finish by November 25th,
all is well. Again, we got to get the plant started up, which we're projecting April at best at this point.
Okay.
So as long, there's a chance that it could be sooner, so.
Yeah.
But we're, crossing our Ts and dotting our Is here and saying.
Yeah.
Hey, we're in the dead of winter right now, so the likelihood,
It's not getting any better.
no, not any better. Slightly warmer, but still difficult. So
Yeah.
with that, I'll open it up to any questions, before, requesting approval.
Any questions from council?
No,
No,
It's understandable the delays, obviously,
Yeah.
so I don't think anybody's questioning that. It's been a challenging winter and some unknown scope creep, so, yeah, perfectly understandable. Okay. Procedurally, is it just a motion, Alex?
To approve the amendment,
Okay. Okay, so I will call for a motion. What do we call the amendment? Is it the,
This is like, that's for 2026-01.
okay, so is there a motion to approve task order 2026-01?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Doug,
I'll second.
second by Greg. Vote for discussion. No further discussion. We'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
yes,
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jim Beechey, yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Um, So a quick update on the project, also, and you'll be able to find the new SBR in Google Earth if you, look at Bristol, the treatment plant.
Oh.
So that's pretty exciting. I think we saw that couple months ago, maybe. But currently, they're finishing up, electrical, programming and a lot of work on, equipment startups and stuff like that. Everything is going very fast right now, but some things are, like we mentioned, the water main, connection. That's something that's critical that we're trying to get, moving ahead, so, water main is getting tied into within the next 6 weeks. And then startups will happen and, just be really nice to Tim while that's happening because he's gonna be a little overwhelmed, I think, but, there it is, so.
Look at that.
Yep,
Nice.
yep, it's pretty cool. If you can see the equipment inside there. And then, I don't think all the buildings were built yet, and maybe that is the roof of the headworks, but yeah, the site's really coming along, so, kind of exciting for sure. So
Yeah.
any questions about the project in general? And I did want to mention too, we completed the lift station, replacements about 6 months ago, so that's been really good too. We haven't had any issues with that.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's all I had though. If anybody has any questions on the project, let me know.
What is the status of our water main? Or not our water main, but our water connection?
Right now, we're waiting on parts, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, so it's been approved to proceed with, connecting along Shore Manor Drive.
Okay,
Yeah, so we're not gonna need the NDOT permit and we're saving about $30,000, by going the other route. So it's helpful. We just have to wait on some parts to get arrived. So,
okay,
We
Thank you.
have some other paperwork to complete.
yeah, there
Okay.
will be a
It's getting-
change order coming up, because of that water main item.
okay,
Yep, but it'll be coming next meeting, I'd say.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have our contract renewal interlocal agreement for Humane Society costs. Costs has remained the same again this year's, for this
4,000?
year,
Good.
for next year, yeah.
It's
48, 40.
it's been the last like 5 years,
Yeah, it's been a long
increased
time.
it.
never raised,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
I make a motion, we approve the agreement for Humane Society Interlocal.
okay, motion by Kathy,
I'll second.
second by Doug. Open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is yes, motion carries. Okay, what's next on your agenda, Mike? This is.
You know, when I wrote that agenda item, I thought it was funny at the moment, at that time.
Golden
This is
goodness and
goodness.
Golden
everybody.
goodness in every bite, yes.
Golden
Okay,
goodness.
so,
Sounds like a Twinkie.
It does.
it does.
Might be better than a Twinkie.
It's better though than a Twinkie, it's a corn dog.
Oh,
So this request comes via me from Bristol on the River, who is now the host of the Corn Dog Festival, annual Corn Dog Festival. So every year, the corn dogs that are sold there, the profits from that go to the hub. And at this last year's Corn Dog Festival, we actually expanded the number of not-for-profits in the area that share the revenues and the profits from the festival. So to cook the corn dogs, Monogram Foods supplies fryers that they bought when they were managing the Corn Dog Festival. As near as I can tell, they were bought on Amazon, which is fine, except they're not commercial grade. And this year we had one of the two working for most of the day, and then we finally got the second one in. We left a couple pallets of corn dogs uncooked because we just couldn't keep up with demand. And it's a hassle to move these fryers out of their storage over here, set up a tent, get the health department inspection. And so an idea we came up with, what if we design a food trailer or a corn dog cooking trailer. And working with one of our enclosed trailer folks here in town, we actually we buy commercial grade fryers, install those, and everything we need is in that trailer. So it's a matter of hooking the trailer up, taking it to the spot, hooking up the gas, and we have a pre-inspected licensed trailer that we can cook corn dogs in. But the idea is not to just use it for the Corn Dog Festival, but at any festival in town, this could be easily pulled out and set up. So if the library wanted to use it for a fundraiser, or any not-for-profit in town could use that for a fundraiser as well. So we shared this idea with the Community Foundation, and we actually had two of the groups that manage funds, two funds that were arguing over which one would get to fund this. So we're very optimistic we will get funding for this. The application is due in another 2 weeks. So we're counting on their support for this for up to 50% of the project. We approached Cross Trailers, and they are very interested in projects. So I have a rough estimate of the trailer right now, but they're fine tuning that. We expect that they will be donating at least something towards this. I don't know if it's materials, labor, something they will donate to this as well. Then we had the idea of connecting the Career Center to this, and Cross Trailers was excited about doing that too. So we're working with the Career Center. We're bringing the students to work with the Cross Trailer engineers to do the research on health requirements, design of the trailer, and actually doing the construction of the trailer, getting the welding team in there and helping with the team at Cross Trailer. So it's a nice partnership for the community. And so we're asking the town if they'd like to partner with this as well with with a contribution towards the trailer. So that's the ask. Now, this connects with the next thing I'll be talking about under Kathy's section is the additional appropriations. So I'm going to suggest if you want to support this, we do this with what we call the abatement give back fund. So every time we issue an abatement, 15% of that value we get back from the company goes into a fund. That fund is at $174,000 right now. So I will be asking you to appropriate $40,000 out of that fund, but not just for this trailer. Jill is being active in creating some events downtown, at least once a month, maybe more frequent, so that we bring people downtown to help our downtown businesses. So I'd like to suggest that would give her some money to work with for those events. we're trying to start up a new farmer's market. If there's some cost with that, that would be some monies we would pull from. So, and this would be overall festival oriented in a sense. So if homecoming wanted some money, they could come to us and ask from this fund, from this 40,000.
We
So, well, you have to come pitch it like I am, I guess.
I have
So,
no questions. So.
Yeah, so we have 16,000 that, you know, we've set aside from another fund for fireworks and for the summer. But I'm going to be proposing to you in the next item that we set aside 40,000 from that other, from the give back fund for summer festivals and summer events in the downtown area. And that's where I would suggest you, if you want to support this, that, you know, it's where you pull it from.
I have a question.
Yes,
Like the homecoming committee, Bristol on the River is not really a town committee.
correct,
It's an independent committee.
right.
Okay. And how much would be going out of this fund to this trailer?
That's up to you.
Well, we'd have to know how much you're looking for.
The estimated cost of the trailer is about $62,000. So if the community foundation comes in with half of that, that's 30 grand, we'll say. So we need to come up with 30,000 somehow. I'm not saying the town does all of that at all, because cross trailers will be supplying part of the parts or something will be coming in from that. So we'll have to raise some money from a couple sources, depending on how much money, if you guys decide to support.
62,000, because we've looked into a trailer for the homecoming. And, you know, it's like 15-20,000.
That's just the bare trailer.
No, that's got all the fixtures and everything in
Like
there.
what kind of fixtures?
Well,
Fryers? I've
no,
got
it
20.
doesn't have fryers in
Well, I
it,
got-
but it's got freezers and it's got, you know,
Yeah.
refrigerators and all that.
Yeah, that's the cheapest thing in this trailer is the freezer. So if you're producing food in a trailer, you have to
Right,
meet certain
right.
criteria. So
Right, you have to.
I don't have the actual cost yet. That's
Yeah,
the estimated cost right now. I'll
I
have the
was just
actual
wondering.
cost next week.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of modifications because we have to put sinks in, we have to provide wash facilities, so that's
how big is the trailer?
24 foot. So yeah, I can go out and buy an 8 by 24 foot trailer for
$12,000.
Yeah, $12,000.
I agree.
But putting the windows in, the door, the extra wide door,
Oh,
and
we've got the
sinks and
windows,
all the plumbing, we're plumbing this for natural gas as well, the air conditioning, heat.
Oh, you guys are gonna have AC?
Yeah.
I wish we
Yeah.
could.
But it's
So-
only, yeah,
We could, in theory, we could use this for obviously other events.
the license will allow us to use it in town for not-for-profit events. So it has to be somebody sponsoring this event. So it's not like a food truck, that's a different license. The
Okay.
health department will do this, it's $500 a year for this license. It allows us to use it all the events.
And just in town?
Yeah, if we start taking it outside of town, then it becomes more like a food truck and,
Okay.
Mhm. Where are you guys gonna store it?
street department's got a great big new lot now.
So, but this is gonna be a non-town,
It's owned by the Bristol on the River.
but it's gonna be funded by the town and stored on town property.
Town will be partially.
Well, partially funded, but it's gonna be stored on town property.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
How much did you guys bring in, or how much did Corn Dog Festival end up clearing last year for the hub and whatever other groups?
Oh, man, Jill, do you remember that number? for
The hub, it was right under $8,000 for the hub.
What about the other, what in total?
I don't have that figure.
I shared with you, I think, I can share the report on how much money we gave out to all the not-for-profit groups. Thought I shared that with you.
Yeah, you
I can
did.
do that.
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was pretty substantial.
But
Giving the community.
yeah, we could have probably doubled the amount of corn dog sales if we could have produced.
Insurance coverage
First on the river.
on town property?
That's what I was.
Do you guys have to have additional insurance as well as,
For Bristol on the River?
yes,
Yeah, for the festival, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ours is more expensive than yours.
I don't know. We have to have committee covered, you have to have everything else
Yeah.
covered.
Seems like I talked to Stacy,
Stacy.
and she gave me a price, man, ours seemed like double that, but anyways,
Oh, that's because we didn't deal with,
yeah, right.
we went somewhere else, yes, okay.
Okay, so your funding request is for
An amount,
an amount.
yeah,
I don't mean to rain on your parade,
sure.
but should we wait until we have the figures from the other before?
No,
I mean, there's no rush.
oh, yeah, I need a commitment anyways, so you can say up to an amount if you want. But I'd like a commitment to put on the application to the community foundation, so the more support we have going in, that makes us a better, it just shows community support and a collaborative effort. So if you don't, I don't know, just. Yeah, I knew this question would come up, so you didn't rain on the parade, I already had the umbrella.
Sorry.
Well, I mean,
I don't-
I'd like to know what the figures are before we
Yeah.
even say, yeah, that sounds great, personally.
Well, you could say like, yeah, just give me a maximum number you wanna spend and, or 50% of. Whatever, the community foundation is going to support 45% for sure, I'm pushing for 50. So let's just say they do 50, then we have 50% to cover. Cross Trailers is going to support it at some level, so that leaves an amount that's left. So you could say, up to $10,000 or not more than 30% of the trail. Total cost, something like that. Or if you. I
Well,
don't
you're
know,
gonna
this
know
is tough
next week,
because I
right?
need a number and I'm 3 days away from the actual number from Cross Trailer and at our meetings tonight, my application is due in another week to the foundation, like February 10th or something. So that's the reason it's awkward right now. You can just trust me.
So if we said that we would fund 30% of the cost of your trailer.
Yeah, but we don't know what the cost of the trailer is gonna be.
Oh, it could be, rough estimates are $62,000.
More than 20,000 at that
Yeah,
point.
I mean, that's one option. Seems better if you just say no more than 10,000 or 30%. If you just give me a sense of where you want to be, then we can keep the number within that.
We're looking at this funding coming from the
Give
Give back.
the abatement fund.
Yeah, the give back. Another approach is say we would support support up to a fixed amount, but that amount will be contingent upon council approval once the final cost is done. So in other words, you're not obligating, well, you're obligating up to a certain amount, but just to make sure you're comfortable with that number, I'll bring back the actual number for you guys to approve.
And you would have that number by the second meeting.
Yes, should have, yes. Do you want to do it? I guess that's the first question.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea. I'm struggling with it's a big amount for something the town doesn't own. Like if the group goes insolvent, what happens to the trailer?
That's
Do
right.
you want the town to own it?
Well,
We could go.
I mean, if it's the bigger the amount, I feel like at least it becomes an asset for the town for other events and we can lease it out to other groups.
Well, it's a good point, and the
If it's gonna be on
community
the town.
foundation asked me if the town would consider owning it. I said, well, I don't know. But if you want more control over it that way, I don't see any problem with doing it that way. The application to the foundation then would be from the town instead of Bristol on the River.
It just seems like it's a significant investment on something
Yeah.
to a group that, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know much about the group. I know they've done good things, but all groups that aren't associated, like they can disappear.
Yeah.
Then that money just dries up and it would have been better spent just giving it to the hub directly. And that's my concern.
Well,
So if it is,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I say if it does become a town asset, then if we ever decided we were done with it, we could sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
the only thing I was gonna mention, and I'm homecoming, is that everything that the homecoming has is under the homecoming. So if that dries up, everything is just gone.
Mhm.
And nothing is under the town, and that's why I was surprised to see the town logo on last year's advertisements, because it isn't really a town affiliated committee.
It was there because the town contributed. They were a contributor. So
Oh,
that's.
how much did you contribute last year?
You guys contributed.
Yeah.
How much did we contribute?
Fireworks?
No,
No,
fireworks
no,
is
no.
a town festival.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't.
Corn dog?
Corn dog
Yeah.
festival.
10,000?
Yeah,
I think it was.
10.
Really?
uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah, you were there.
You were that happy. Yeah. Because you were thinking about homecoming too at that time.
Yep. Times
I don't know. How do you guys feel about the town versus, that was just my thoughts on it. The higher we start investing in it,
I think it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
have the town on it.
I would rather have the town on it if we're
Mhm.
gonna do that. But that's a huge amount.
We will do that. So the application will go in. I think the more I think about this, the more I like this approach, and regardless of the level of support or whether you support it financially, I sort of wonder if we shouldn't just put this under the town. The town is applying to the community foundation. So,
direct community support.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means the town will carry insurance on it and everything else.
Yeah,
On
it's,
just that.
in the big picture, this is a small item to add, I think.
Doesn't sound
Compared to-
like it.
Oh, my. You haven't bought a truck? Well, yeah, you have bought
Well,
a truck.
that's a truck.
It's not a fire truck.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a fire truck.
Not a fire truck. Well, even a snowplow truck is kind of expensive, even a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Pickup truck is much expensive.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to know figures before I say anything, so whatever you guys decide.
I'll bring back the amount for you, for final.
So you want a motion to authorize up to?
It'd be nice, then I could put that in the application. And,
I will make a motion that we authorize up to $20,000 towards the purchase of the trailer to be owned by the town.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Jeff, second by Doug, open for discussion. No further discussion, we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes,
Kathy Burke,
Oh, gosh.
you should be negotiating votes for homecoming.
It can be used at homecoming.
yeah. From my town, you can have homecoming.
We have vendors, thank you. We have independence. I had a question before you said that, but, sure, why not?
Greg Dolsky
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is yes. Motion carries.
Homecoming will be here next meeting to make an offer.
An offer.
How much you gonna give us?
yeah.
Depends on how much you want to give the homecoming.
Oh, okay.
Homecoming's been running since 1883. You want me to continue?
Mike, with the change in the application from Bristol on the River to the town, do you need separate authority? Do you want separate authority from?
You know, it's a really good idea. Maybe just authorization from the council to apply for the grant from the community foundation. Yeah, good idea.
Is there a motion to
I'm going on break.
provide authorization to Mike to apply to the community foundation for funding for the corn dog trailer?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Greg,
I'll second.
second by Doug. Open for discussion.
No.
Any further discussion? Now we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes,
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is yes. Motion carries.
We will need to name this trailer. I think if you go down further, maybe I had a name in this application, but we came up with one today, which was
It's
Nick.
the golden goodness thing?
No, that was a byline. Maybe it's up towards the top. I don't. AI suggested that we call it, the Extraordinary Barn Dog Trailer Project. It was bark in a bun, but anyway. That was
I don't think-
artificial intelligence.
The corn dog people would appreciate that very well.
No.
It's almost a bark on the bun.
Bark on the bun.
Bark on the dog. Bark of the dog. There you go.
Anyway.
Okay. Anything else, Mike? Anything else? Any other
No,
controversial
well,
top-
I've got a
topics you'd like
few
to bring up?
additional requests on behalf of in Kathy's section here. Are you ready to move into additional appropriations? These are all mine, so I might.
I'm yielding my section to Mr. Yoder.
Okay, Kathy, what do you have to yield to Mr. Yoder?
A whole list of things.
Yes, so hopefully you are remembering or recalling that when we approved the budget for this year, I mentioned to you that I didn't have numbers for the new street department building yet, nor complete numbers on the water main project on Elkhart Street. So rather than budget guesses, I'd wait till I had those exact numbers and we could budget to those numbers. So that's what we're doing tonight. Maybe, I think this is a good idea. Jeff, if you would give me the screen, I want to show you the project list and give you because we're asking for well over $1 million, like maybe closer to 2. So this is my project list, which I shared with you before. And so we have the water main project, which is going to be $522,000. We're purchasing right away for the Earthway to Bloomingdale project. We're estimating the cross trailer thing will come in around 346. Not sure on that yet, but that's what I have budgeted. The Earthway to Bloomingdale acquisition, we've talked about that. We're going to go after the entire parcel. That's $500,000. The street department building, I was hoping we'd get that done for $1 million. We are very, very close to the GMP, which stands for greatest maximum price.
Yeah.
Guaranteed maximum price. And that's at 1.4, just under 1.5 million. So I'm suggesting we budget 1.5 million for the new street department. We've had to shift locations of the building today, so that's going to change our site preparation a little bit. So 1.5 should be good for that project. So that's the main projects that we're funding. Well, I want you to look, and you've got this in front of you in hard copy. So everything in blue across here is the funds which are impacted by the requests tonight. But maybe most important is we look down at the bottom. And what I've done at the bottom is we have a beginning of the year. So like look at edit here is at the top. This is the edit column. We're expending $600,000 out of edit this year. We had a beginning of the year balance of 243. We're getting 333 in. We're going to end the year projection at $26,000. Now, flat out, that's too small. So I'm looking for places to move edit expenditures. And the most likely spot is our general obligation bond. We have a fire truck to pay for out of that, but it looks like we're going to have about $300,000 left. So I'll be moving some of the Main Street sidewalk reconstruction to that general obligation bond, if that's what we have left. So that'll leave us with a greater amount there. But as you can see, as we go across the sheet, we are in the green with some really nice balances in all of these funds, even with this additional appropriation. So the 130 is South TIF. At the end of this year, we're estimating 875,000 remaining there. 800,000 in the TIF and East TIF, 640,000 in Rail Park TIF, and 210,000 in Valmont, and of course we've got 554,000 sitting in the Rayburn Fund. So with all of these additional appropriations, you can see that throughout the TIFs and all of our main funds, we're still holding a really healthy balance at the end of the year. So with that, I'm requesting tonight some additional 30,000 out of the MPH unrestricted funds, 20,000 out of local road and street funds. TIF South, we're asking for 672,000. That'll be for both water main and the street department building. 90,000 out of the East TIF, for a water main project and Ponderosa realignment. I still have that money in there for that project. I'm not sure we'll get that, that right of way bought, but at least we have money there to buy that right of way. Then 450,000 out of the GGT TIF for the street department building, 500,000 for the street department building on the Seahawk TIF. And then we're to the give back fund, the $40,000 for festival and event expenses. So that's the request.
Out of that GGT fund, how much is in that TIF right now?
Across. We began the year with 274,000. The estimated revenue this year is 660,000. We do have some reimbursements we pay out of
Let's say, what's our obligation?
Um,
I wanna say it's 85%.
yeah, it is 85%. And well, with what I heard with some new expansion going on up there, they may actually get fully reimbursed. I think right now it looked like they may not, but
Yeah,
with the new investment, I think they may
Okay.
be reimbursed.
is it, I know when we first talked with George about that, it didn't look like the full reimbursement was gonna happen, but he was okay with that. So,
So we're, yeah. So I'm pulling substantial monies out of there, but, we get into this project and I may want to move that to another tip, but right now I think that's the place.
Okay.
I have a question. What's the Ponderosa realignment?
Ponderosa, where Ponderosa
Yeah,
Drive is
yeah.
at. We're going to shift that a little to the east so we can make a better intersection at Bloomingdale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just shifting it a little bit.
make that curve a little bit easier to get around.
For some ice and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know that was a narrow area to begin with.
We're not doing that project this year.
That's good.
That would be good. That would be a mess.
All he needs a few more projects this year.
Oh, it just-
Procedurally, public hearing?
This is a permission to advertise.
Yes,
Okay.
two points to it. One, the public hearing, so on the text of the notice itself, that Thursday is March 5 instead of March 4.
Mhm.
So that'll be, I think that'll change the ordinance number 3/5/2026.
It would, thank you.
And procedurally, what this would constitute is the first reading, to then advance to the March 5 meeting, when there'd be a public hearing.
Okay, so public hearing now.
Correct.
So at this time, we will open up a public
No,
hearing.
Oh, sorry, at the March 5.
At the March 5, okay,
This is just a
okay, this is just.
advance to second
advance. Okay. So is there a motion to advance ordinance 3-4-2026-5?
3-5-2026-4.
I got you.
Is there a motion to advance to second reading ordinance 3-5-2026-4?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion
Second.
by Greg, second by Kathy, open for discussion.
One note, procedures have been changed as far as publishing goes for additional appropriations. It no longer has to be published to the paper. It is published to Gateway.
Okay,
They don't even require it online at any,
So that is online, so to speak.
yeah,
Mhm.
interesting.
okay. All right, any other discussion? Okay, now we'll take a vote. Doug Smith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky.
Yes.
And Jeff Beach is yes, motion carries. Okay. Anything else, Kathy, Mike?
Not enough.
It's only 1.8 million. Kathy totaled it.
Okay,
It's a lot of good stuff.
anybody have questions for Kathy or Mike at this point?
Nope.
Okay, not, Alex, what do you have for us tonight?
Thank you, Jeff. This evening, one item of business for you, for the council's approval is, as Mike had indicated, there's been some negotiation, among the landowner with regards to the acquisition of the, that full parcel there that, it's owned by an entity related to the Bristol Foam Product business. This is, council had previously authorized a uniform acquisition offer pursuant to the state's eminent domain statute to acquire a portion of that property. Statute requires that the town engage in good faith negotiations to acquire. The strategy has changed there. The landowner has indicated a willingness to sell the entirety of the parcel. And so under the town's eminent domain authority, this offer, the request of the council would be to offer, authorize an offer of $500,000 for the entirety of that parcel, which is what's been budgeted here. And then we'll deliver that in accordance with statute, and then hopefully proceed with arm's length negotiation. So the request would be the council to authorize the offer to 1203 South Division Street, Bristol LLC, in the amount of $500,000.
Is there a motion? No, I will make that motion. For a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Jeff, second by Doug. Open for discussion. No further discussion. We'll take a vote. Doug DeSmith,
Yes.
Kathy Burke,
Yes.
Greg Dolsky,
Yes.
and Jeff Beach is a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you, council. We'll have that delivered. That's all I have for this evening.
Okay. We have questions for Alex. No, thank you, Alex. All right. Next item on the agenda is privilege of the floor. So at this time, we'll open it up to public comment. If you'd like to make a comment, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address, and let us know what you have to say. Okay, seeing no takers, we will move on to the next item. What's your town council agenda items? Doug, what do you have for us tonight?
Nothing.
Okay, Kathy, anything?
Oh, I want to thank the town maintenance guys.
For cleaning your alley?
Well, it's not my alley.
Oh.
Belongs to the town and you haven't cleaned it in 3 years. No,
No, I'll pass that along to.
no. I noticed that when they were plowing the back street behind my house, they dumped over somebody's dumpster.
Oh,
And he went out there, didn't even have gloves on, with hands, and picked up every single bit of trash that came out of that dumpster. And I thought that was, I want to
I'll pass that.
commend him for doing that. That's all I have.
Greg, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. The only thing the only thing I'll have tonight is, let's keep our fellow council member Dean in your thoughts and prayers. He's going through some more health struggles, so just keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you would, please. With that, our next meeting is February 17th, 7 PM work session. We're gonna talk about the new residential incentive policy with Baker Tilly. Regarding Bristol Commons. Or using Bristol Commons as data. And then February 19th will be our regular council meeting. Okay, with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion by Greg,
I'll second.
second by Doug, all in favor?